afternoon, Mr. Jarvis.
Well, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm okay. So, let's get right into the interview. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I first got into watchmaking when I was 15.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been fascinated in watches ever since. I have a degree in horology, as you can see on my resume.
It's impressive, yes.
And I made my first watch when I was 16 years old.
Any specifications on that watch that you've made? Or was it just like first thing you did and you didn't really care about it?
Well, it was. No, it wasn't the kind of watch you'd get, from a huge company, but
Yeah. Understandable. So I've noticed in the resume that you do have a degree in horology. Is this a watch technician or just or a study of the watch or a chronograph degree?
It's a watch technician.
Watch technician degree. Okay. So how many years have you been working as a horologist?
10 years, ever since I got out of college.
And what are your past jobs?
Well, as you can see on my resume, I worked for Braemont and Fortis, which are also Swiss watch companies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I worked with each for about 3 years.
Okay. So why did you leave these jobs?
They were giving salary cuts to some employees, and with Braemont, I didn't like the hours, so I left.
These are quite large watch companies, you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we are a much smaller company, much more team-based, much more community-based. How do you work in a team?
I work quite well in a team. I worked in a team in my previous jobs. I've designed watches as a team in horology school.
So give me an example where you help the team work more efficiently, more effectively.
Well, we in horology school we did a lot of projects where we would design watches as groups, and we did a lot of that in my previous jobs as well.
So what would you say is your greatest strength?
My greatest strength?
When it comes to watches or making watches or designing watches?
I would say my greatest strength is the speed at which I do it.
Yeah.
In horology school, what would take the rest of my classmates about an hour would take me about half that time.
That's interesting. So now, what motivates you to keep doing horology? It seems like you've been in this for a while. It obviously must interest you. So what is your motivation to do horology?
Well, I have an interest in watches. I've been interested in watches ever since I was a kid.
Yes.
And
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how did you find our firm?
I saw your job advert on the bulletin board.
Yeah.
I liked I liked what it said, so I applied.
Okay, that's very interesting. So what motivated you to choose this company other than other companies? Was it the community-based? Was it because it's small, just starting off, versus the very large companies that you used to work to, like Vermont or Fortis?
If you apply to a large company, there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
When you apply, so it's much harder to get the job.
Okay. And obviously, if you studied horology and all that, why didn't you just open your? Well, I can't ask you that, but understandable. What type of leadership do you think is more like being respected, being feared, or like do you prefer like being friendly or all that, or do you prefer a person that is just like very very fair?
I would say respected,
Mhm.
because you know, if you respect, like if you respect your leader, you're more you're more likely to do work
Mhm.
for them like genuinely. If you fear them, it's
Okay.
doing it out of fear.
And so, to finish off, would you please mind describing my watch to me?
It's a very interesting watch. It's got, yeah, yeah, I see it shows you the days of the week,
Yes.
and yeah, it's made of silver.
Okay.
And to be honest, hmm, I made very few time of this type of watch in the past.
So you're more centered towards classical watch design and all that, rather than the more modern style that we have right here.
Yes, I suppose you could say that.
It's perfect. At our firm, we're centered to a more modern design, rather than having a more actually classical design than the more modern design. So we want to go back. Okay. Well, do you have any questions for me?
No, I do not.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Aliyev.
Thank you as well.